Ultraman 80, Ultraman 80, he came to us from the start. 君は誰かを愛しているか、それは生きてることなんだ。君は勇気を持っているか、どんなことにも負けない心。僕の星から来た男が愛と勇気を教えてくれる。ウルトラマン80、ウルトラマン80。He came to us from the start.
Hello, you are listening to Ultra Q, episode 115. My name is Red.
15.
I'm joined... Shut the fuck up. My name is Red. I am joined by... That guy... Is that horror... That is performance art, right? He's putting on the voice.
I guess.
The number 15 guy.
Yeah.
No, I think he just sounds like that.
The thing...
Apparently he
I think-
died recently.
What?
Yeah.
Chills? Dead? Oh no, the Burger King foot lettuce guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you meant Chills.
The guy who discovered
I was-
the Burger King foot... Okay, the guy who... Okay. Yes.
The guy in the Burger King foot lettuce meme died. The guy who voices the videos is still alive.
Okay.
Anyway.
Everyone,
Sorry for directing this entire
alarm aborted. Chills is still alive. It's okay. He's still doing the world a public service. My name is Red. I'm joined by Mel.
Did you know that teleportation is just like a thing anyone could do if you learn it?
Yeah, you can just learn.
I think there's a dojo open up to me in my city, so I should go learn someday.
Yeah, you can go learn teleportation. It's like a martial art.
Yeah.
It's kind of a busted martial art, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, that's kind of like how fighting games are sometimes. Like, there's a guy who knows karate and there's a guy who can throw fireballs, so...
Yeah. And the guy who knows karate is broken.
Yes, exactly.
Also joined by Brad.
Have you ever, for training purposes, played chicken with the ground?
Well, like I said, if teleportation is just a thing you can learn, so you can do that.
Alright, fucking Jonathan Frakes.
That really happened.
Yeah. Was this story based? We are back. We have 3 more episodes of Ultraman 80 to discuss. My summaries are kind of brief because let me say this week my manager, because it's like my office, I'm in a team.
Yeah.
And then I'm in a small team in that team. And that small team is me and my manager. And that's it. That's the team. And we got a good thing going.
Together you fight crime.
Together we fight crime. Exactly. She's Batman. And I'm Robin. She's gone away for 3 weeks. And
So now it's time for you to get beaten to death with a pipe by the Joker?
Yes.
Okay.
And by beaten to death with a pipe by the Joker, what I mean is that the moment she stepped out of the door, everyone in the world and also their dog decided to get in touch with me to ask me their own separate, completely unique, stupid question.
What'd the dog ask?
The dog asked, woof, 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 woof. And I said, no, you'll get your invoice in September. So I've been very fucking busy because I've just been running this like pillar of my job on my own, and it's, I'm doing it, but I'm busy. So this week has kind of vanished Yeah. But we got 3 episodes of Ultraman. Do we want to talk about Ultraman?
Yeah.
What would happen if we said no?
That's a very good question.
Hit
You'd
the,
have to
I
try.
don't-
hit the
think-
UGM theme or something.
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice.
I think we did do that
well,
bit once.
We have 3 episodes. The first one is called episode 30. Now, an interesting thing has happened this week to Ultraman 80. My head is in my hands a little bit, as I'm concerned. But
Surely they would have.
I don't
We'll talk about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm so worried. I'm so worried.
No, they
This
can't.
was gonna be the
they can't
best
have done
one.
They
It's
can't
gonna
have done
be
it
the
like
best
that.
one.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. We just watched 3 episodes of Ultraman this week, right?
Shut up. You know. Episode 13 of Ultraman 80 is called Attack Formation Yamato.
I think you'll find that the book says Knockout Formation Yamato.
What the fuck? Oh, okay. Featuring Alien Gorgon and Saramandora. Or, if you're being a sensible person, Salamander. This is the kaiju salamander.
Just remembered I was listening to the newest Castle Super Beast yesterday, and Wooly described the 1970s Japanese horror film House as Hausu, and I was like, come on.
It's House. That's the movie House. There's the really bad subs for Tomino's first directed show, the dolphin one, the white dolphin show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I keep when I got like halfway through that, I was like always constantly sending people the screenshot of the white dolphin with a V fin, saying that talking about Sarah Mandela, like Sarah and then Mandela as like 2 names, and it's like she's clearly saying salamander. Incredible subtitles. And
I
subtitles
tried to
on
watch
show.
that show recently. I got 3 and I was like, I cannot do this.
No.
That show main inspiration for Fukuda for Seed Destiny, by the way.
What?
Yes, because
What does that
there's a
mean?
point. There's a point in that show where the protagonist realizes he's fighting for the bad side and goes, "Oh, I need to switch sides now." And apparently Fukuda loved that and was like, "I'm a."
That's not what happens in Seed Destiny.
Why is it according to Fukuda?
It is according to Fukuda.
According to
When does that
Fukuda, Kira Yamato and Lacus Klein are well thought out characters with a loving relationship.
Does he mean Atherin? Does he mean Atherin switching sides from...
I think he means at the very last episode where Shin goes, "Oh, maybe I fucked up." And
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He just this is in the edited version. In the original version, he just cries and the show ends.
Well, he does shake hands with Kira at the end.
No, that's in the updated version.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
the TV one. The one that adds an Atherin. So
Yeah,
you can
in the-
stand there.
Yeah, in the original, the show literally just ends when they blow up the base with Durandal. We're just spoiling the end of Seed Destiny, but it's okay. You don't want to watch that show. Durandal blows up in the base at the end, and Shin and
Luna Maria.
Luna Maria are just out in their normal suits in space, and Shin's just crying about the fact that everything's gone to shit.
Yep.
Yeah. How about a summary, by the way?
Yeah, so, episode 13, UGM fight a kaiju called Salamander. They identify the throat as its weakness, and Takeshi pulls off a move in his jet to raise Salamander's throat, and then the captain can shoot it. The kaiju is destroyed, but Takeshi is admonished for disobeying orders. Meanwhile, there's a crisis. The European UGM captains have been assassinated. All of the European captains, all of them in Europe.
My subtitles made this sound like there was one captain for all of Europe and one captain for all of North America.
Oh, that might be what happened.
That might make more sense given the way things work.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
That's a lot of ground for a captain.
I mean, have you seen, like, like AFRICOM, CENTERCOM, etc. The US is already just doing this.
So,
But the comparison we have is Japan. Now, this raises the question. Is Captain Oyama of Japan also the captain of maybe some regions around Japan? In sort
like
of
the Far East region, etc.
like a sphere of influence, maybe, where everyone
one
can
where
prosper.
they prosper cooperatively.
Yeah, cooperatively. Something like that.
this blew my mind a little bit because I've been watching these entire shows assuming when we were watching Matt or Tak or whatever that like there were multiple of those in Japan because of the absurdity of the logistics of like that's a lot of you
Well, the
can't
thing
be
is-
everywhere.
I have not.
But the thing is, in many shows, they're like they call the like they often say like, oh, the Japan branch is part of the Far East branch or whatever, etc.
Mhm.
They mentioned that before.
But they never call into like when to the Hokkaido branch. They only ever
Yeah.
interact with like branches from other countries.
That's true.
In the modern day, they'll call it like SCARD's Indo-Pacific branch or whatever.
Yeah.
As part of the pivot to Asia or whatever.
The alien Gorgon attempts to assassinate Oyama. But he's too cool. He's too quick on the draw. He kills his attacker. But the Gorgon turns into a human woman's corpse, and he's detained for murdering a civilian. Some protesters hound the UGM HQ, demanding Oyama face justice, and Takeshi identifies several
Speaking of
of
Sea
them
Destiny.
as witnesses to the murder. And in maybe the wildest scene in Ultraman in a very long time, he stands up on a building, and we get a shot of him aiming at protesters through like a sniper scope as he shoots them with beta rays, and they turn back into Gorgon aliens.
The feel of this scene is rancid.
This is like the most evil Ultraman has been in a very long time. The Gorgons run off and turn into Salamander because they survived getting killed the first time. They can regenerate, and they attack Tokyo. Oyama is allowed to leave after Takeshi proves the beta ray thing. They then head out in their spaceship, and they repeat Takeshi's earlier method, but this time the captain names it Formation Yamato with a wink. Perfect plan. It doesn't fucking work. They get shot down, Takeshi turns into Ultraman and defeats the kaiju, the day is saved.
I need to pause because so they do the Formation Yamato. The monster catches his plane and then throws it back at the captain's part of the plane, and they collide and explode in midair. He turns into Ultraman, and then the next shot is of Ultraman gently putting the captain back on the ground. And I was like, how?
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Also,
okay.
if I'm the captain, I'm immediately going, wow. I sure do wonder who Ultraman is.
Don't you remember in like episode 2 of Ace where like Hokuto or Ace strangely is able to save the captain, and then Ryu was like, Hokuto, I really did think you specifically saved me. It's really strange.
It's sort of strange. I just get that feeling. Takeshi turns into Ultraman, defeats the kaiju, the day is saved. Back at base, Takeshi is given orders to train the rest of UGM in Formation Yamato. The end.
Fuck dinner.
Fuck dinner. Yeah, he was invited to a fancy dinner. This episode's weird because it's like true fundamentals, just very well put together, very well made episode. We've got like 2 different arcs for Takeshi and the captain, and they interact with each other in interwoven with each other very well. And the big victorious thing at the end where like the spaceship shows up is really cool. Also, it's a foul episode.
Yeah, I was the first bit of the episode was kind of interesting, just like, the idea of like, Ultra 7 coded, like, members of the defense team leadership are getting assassinated by aliens, and just kind of spy step of like, he's in like what's the word, like protective custody room.
Yeah.
And then like an alien sneaks in and tries to assassinate him, but through that he gets like framed for murder. I'm like, this is like, we're on some of that old cool spy stuff from the 60s that we hadn't had in a long time. That's pretty cool. And then Takeshi becomes a fucking evil person in one of the most insane scenes ever.
Yeah.
My emotional journey with this episode was, oh sick, we're doing like the plane comes apart and like separates, it's like a combining plane and we're working that into the character drama. This is cool as hell. Then it kept going and then I was like, ooh. This is,
Yeah.
I feel like making this like a white woman who dies too also feels very like pointed.
Mm-hmm.
Of like
yeah,
Yeah.
Back to
white
the
women.
60s,
White
right?
women are like are the pinnacle of women. That's how that goes. They are to be protected. The sniper shot is like genuinely was the moment I was like, fuck this episode. It's just like scanning over the protesters through a scope is just so great. It's just like
it's first
so
person.
the perspective on this episode is just so the aliens have sneaked into the populace and stirred them to riot. We have to root them out. What
really
could this
bad.
possibly be a metaphor for?
No humans could ever protest the police that keep us safe.
Yeah. It's really gross. Which again is a shame because it's like a perfectly, like you said, they start with like, I mean, this is the thing is that like we do like the sort of like the spy shit, but also when they are doing it, they are doing the thing we're talking about. It's just that they pushed it a step too far and we got grossed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It has like the
it
fundamental
is
tricky
egregious.
things like the spy shit is cool, but like the context in which spy shit erupts is like, we like the other guys to be honest, but usually
True. The Gorgons are not getting like especially just in like the political climate that we're in, where in Britain, it's if you protest, you're a terrorist. Currently, if you show up to a pro-Palestinian protest, you are by definition you are associating with a terrorist organization. Is a development that's happened recently.
yeah.
Which is interesting.
This is like when I think I've talked about I'm sure I've talked about this in the podcast before, but there was the Pope's decree during the Cold War that if you followed communist ideology, like you were fundamentally anti-Christian or anti-Catholic, and I was like, that was a big point of disillusionment where I'm like, that feels like a really bold, weird statement to say that I don't know if it's your place to weigh in on that, and I feel like that's maybe.
It is important to note that like both the Vatican and the Mafia were integral to Gladio operations.
The other thing about this episode is it just looks great.
I mean, that's just the show, like,
and Ultraman
It's
80
like-
just is
because it's like we get both. They're not running on fumes the way they were by the end of 70s Ultraman, and also, it's the next decade. Technology has progressed, so now effects are just advanced now, more compared to before.
The picture in the booklet is reminding me that not only in this episode but next episode we do get really sick moments where Ultraman 80 uses his Aegis setup, la di da di da.
Yeah,
yes. The next episode, I do note Ultraman 80 just he's ripping off Mirror Man. But yeah,
I'm starting to wonder
Ultraman.
if Aegis Reflector is just taken from Ultraman.
It might be.
At this
it
point-
looks like
other things are taken from Ultraman.
in this
from
one,
Third Strike, even.
Yeah.
in this specific instance, like it looks like it's the same glowy rectangle thing. Like it just looks like it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
It's interesting. I think I'm always mocking the fact that Ultraman just makes up his moves, but I think I am kind of in the camp of I prefer it when he makes up his moves instead of having forms.
Same.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like making up moves to cheat is a bit annoying, but also the opposite problem is when it's like, here is the wiki list of all his moves and the rules for them kind of thing. And it's like, you don't want that with Ultraman, and yet we do have.
I do kind of wish the moves were
Mm-hmm.
more specific. Like, I think there is this weird blur where, like, I can't tell you what any of these guys do anymore because they all kind of just do the same shit, and every now and again we'll get, like, one really weird specific one, like the, I'm gonna blow myself up.
This is also, like, the weird thing with Ultraman relative to the other Toku franchises is, like, Ultraman doesn't have as much of, like, a gimmick with each season, the way that, like, Rider Sentai do, where it's like, yeah, it's obvious that, like, when the Animal Sentai, you're gonna get, like, weird animal powers that, like, the Rescue theme Sentai are not gonna have. But meanwhile, Ultraman is Ultraman, which will get interesting when we get to, like, forms, and also when we get to forms based on Legacy Ultraman eventually down the road.
One of the other, watching Card, I keep coming back to watching the fact I'm watching Cardcaptor Sakura. She's gathering new abilities like every week.
Yeah.
But they're really cool. It's like it's constantly just like there was an episode where she used Shadow to cast her shadow like fucking Shikamaru from Naruto. And to like deal with like the fact that she couldn't approach a Clo card without getting spotted, and I was just like, yeah, this is that fucking. You just got to use your brain, and it's not just a fight every week, and it's cool. The boy just got Zawarido powers, so he can stop time now. Anyway.
Have you met his cousin yet?
I have not met his cousin.
Okay. She's anime original, but
okay. I watched episode 14 today.
Okay, she's you'll probably see her in a couple of weeks or so.
Okay. Episode 13, 14. 14 was the one where Toya plays Cinderella in a play, and all the girls in the crowd were screaming, and I was like, oh, this was all the girls in his class formed like a pervert's alliance to make him play Cinderella. I see. I understand. Well. Ultraman.
Yeah, it is also insidious the way it's like that once again, Ultraman does something evil to prove he is correct and he's vindicated for it.
Yes.
It's like the the Alien Simon shit again. But this time with like a really gross layer of this is what politicians actually do in real life.
I feel like we have also forgotten to talk about the captain's punishment is you're going to be arrested in your base of operations. You're just not allowed to touch the machines.
Yes. So when because yes, the protesters outside are specifically protesting the fact that he hasn't really faced justice, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, that is true.
Yeah,
that is a true fact. That is what has happened. I don't think they're wrong. But yeah, this is simply an Ultraman episode written by someone with some fascist instincts. What else is new?
Welcome back.
Yeah, Bunpei Ai.
This is Bunpei Ai?
Yep.
What the fuck, Bunpei? What is this?
Directed by Gamera guy Noriaki Yuasa.
Listen, sometimes you just fall into the cultural.
Yeah, I mean, but we have talked about the fact that Bunpei Ai is interesting, but he does not always hit. This is one of your misses, man. This is
I really think a lot of this one in particular comes from them wanting to do like a fake out of being like, oh, maybe he's actually super fucked up and twisted, but like they lean into it too hard, and like him being right does not justify everything
It's just-
that comes along the way.
I mean, that's just been the history of this pod. Where like, yeah, they sure Ultraman sure seems to get away for a lot just on account of being right, quote unquote.
I think it's just the, I mean, even in the context of him being right, it's just the, like, aiming through the scope shot, sniping at protesters is just like,
It's evil.
it's like celebrating a type of like cops shooting protesters, which, it's just shit that can happen.
Yeah,
I'm just like, this is gross.
yeah.
So like, even when they turn out to be aliens, I'm like, well, he shot the ones that were secret aliens who are, turning Japan against Japan. He might as well be shooting Koreans. This is like gross. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is a bad one. This is probably the worst episode we've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Mel,
it's just evil.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mel, your stuff.
Special effects director Koichi Kawakita, Salamander suit actor Takashi Yamazaki. Check this rough design of Salamander. It looks sick.
Oh, this looks so
Ooh.
much cooler.
This is very good.
No idea who the suit actor for Gorgon is. But apparently this is the 14th episode in the production order, but it was aired out of order.
Okay.
Not really sure why.
I like the implication here that that Salamander is like some kind of aquatic creature because it's got like the flipper on the back.
Yeah. Like an actual salamander, not like the mythological salamander.
Yeah. All right. Well, do we have anything more to say about this episode?
The wet fart noise.
I do like it when the spaceship shows up.
Space mummy.
What? This is an even broader question. Why do they make their body scan tool look like a fucking gun? Why would they make it like that?
It just looks like a camera, right? I think. It just looks like a type
I
of
could
camera.
have sworn, maybe I just filled it in with my brain that it looked more
Maybe
gun-like.
cameras just look like guns.
True.
Sometimes a gun is just a gun.
I think you're triggering the war of nerves in Captain Scarlet when the
Considering
Mysterons take
that,
a peek at humanity through cameras. I think you're triggering the war. I think you're firing on them.
Sometimes a gun is just a gun, I say, inserting that one image of Ogata from the last Golden Kamuy Passport.
Oh well, yes. Shall we talk about episode 14?
Yeah, hold on. I just gotta post this.
What are we posting? Oh my god. This is the revert. Hang on. This is the opposite of the Father of Ultra. Father of Ultra is for when you need to destroy a post above you, and this is for when you want to destroy a post below you.
Yeah.
Anyway. Episode 14.
Yeah.
The teleportation. The Man from Paris.
Paris mentioned.
Featuring Zarudon. Ito, the captain's old buddy from the European Academy, or whatever the fuck it is coming to be UGM chief, which is his second in command, I think. Ito is flying to HQ, he vanishes, reappears diving vertically, lands, and has to be treated for mystery injuries. The UGM officers say, "Tell us what happened," and Ito says, "No, fuck off." Ito then trains the UGM officers in diving vertically, and eventually they're like, well, so he's a fucking alien, right? They follow him late at night, and he teleports, and a bunch of other people teleport, and they find Ito and the teleported people in a warehouse with a kaiju. Ito seems to be leading the people away at gunpoint, and Takeshi's like, there's probably a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this. And Officer Harada says, yeah, very reasonable, he's an alien. Takeshi makes contact with Ito, and Ito explains that the kaiju is teleporting people and putting them in a trance and sucking their life force, and he's leading them away with his gun because he needs his gun to do it for some reason, which I think I missed, and he's doing it quietly because he doesn't want to wake up the kaiju, which has already caused a crisis in Europe. And, thinking about it, he probably should have told the UGM officers about all this earlier, and Takeshi says, no, it's fine that you did that. We're probably just stupid. Anyway, Harada shows up and loudly attempts to arrest Ito, and the kaiju Zarudon wakes up. UGM attacks, Zarudon starts teleporting like whole buildings, and Takeshi turns into Ultraman. It turns out 80 has a bunch of Mirror Man powers, and he goes to the teleportation dimension and defeats Zaradon like it's fucking, like Kakashi versus Obito in the Kamui dimension, which is a joke for only people who've watched a lot of Naruto. Or read a lot of Naruto. Later, at HQ, the captain reveals he kept this all a secret so that the UGM officers would learn complete blind trust in anything Ito ever does. And then he tells a funny, embarrassing story about Ito doing something really stupid that could have killed him. The end.
This episode was not written by a person. What is anyone in this episode doing?
Their jobs? Question mark.
Like someone kept asking, what happened? And Ito keeps just looking at them and then turning away. And it's like, so either you're a bad guy or you just hate me. Like, what? No one explains anything. And then, the captain's like, well, I just needed you to learn trust in a man who once threw himself out of a window in the dead of night thinking he could teleport and nearly died.
Oh, but he can teleport now, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Which is the thing you can just do.
True. He can just he's got like a machine for tracking the teleportation, but also he just... So the diving thing, I missed this out of the summary. Diving vertically stops the teleportation. The teleportation can't track you if you do that. That's, the teleportation effect is cool. Just the kind of like blue flash.
It's like everyone becomes like a blue glowing outline for a second, then they vanish. It is cool stuff.
But truly just everyone is acting like some kind of bizarre version of themselves. I don't really...
It felt like it was written on a napkin because they realized they forgot one.
They needed an episode. They were like, well, we've only got like 49. Which is, weird because, like, the atmosphere's alright. I like the sort of, like, we gotta be quiet around this kaiju. I don't know why they need their guns to lead the people away. I don't know why.
Cop shit. I think
let me pull this up. No, I want MPV. No, I have the app MPV. I have MPV on my computer. Windows, I'm going to kill you. Never mind. But yeah, this was a strange episode.
It's really bad. I think there is a coolness to the shot where everyone's just kind of standing there in a trance in that, like, building warehouse thing, and, like, you just see the big monster, like, in stasis or whatever, like, that dormant state, like, just kind of looming over everything.
Yeah.
But that's, like, the rest of the... I might like this less than the last one, even. Because at least the last one had the plane that separated.
Lol. I think the first episode is, like, better made. Definitely.
It's more evil, but it is better made.
Yeah.
This is the painful trade-off.
Which can be said of many, many things in fiction.
Yeah.
I think the Chief Ito here, like, the actor does an alright job. I feel like to really make this work, though, he's got to be, like, more of a presence than what he kind of is. Because, like you said, he just kind of feels standoff and weird and abrasive in, like, a way that it doesn't really feel mysterious or interesting or, like, enticing, like, oh, I need to know what's happening with this guy.
No, he's just been to Europe, that's why. And he's just been around French people too much, so they rubbed off
that's so true. It'll fuck you up. There's a book about how being around French people will fuck you up. It's called Black Masks, White Faces. No, Black Faces, White Masks.
Chief Ito explains, no, I have to greet you in French first, and if you respond in a different language, then I can.
Black Skin, White Masks. I keep getting the title of that book wrong.
Anyway. That's just like the trope in a lot of anime where it's like this main character, this character is like defined by the fact they spent like 6 months in another country, and now they act like they're from that country.
Yeah, this man has been to the heavenly sphere.
So true.
Do you think it was code that he came back from the dead? Is this guy Jesus?
Oh my god.
Finally, we have
That's
Jesus.
that's why they have the test of faith in
Faith,
him.
yes.
That's oh my god!
Oh, we're saving this episode.
This is like when the Roman guy sent Jesus a message that's like, you don't even need to visit me to heal me, and Jesus was like, wow, that's so impressive.
Remember when Jesus gave the sermons at gunpoint? And was like,
I
"This is
do
all for
remember
your own
that.
good."
I do remember that.
He says, "Listen, you have to pay unto Caesar.
You do have to do that.
You don't have a choice."
Man,
And one of you isn't gonna believe me. And then he looks at the one guy.
I don't know. I've been really. I don't know. I keep coming back to that one lately for bits. I don't know why. Just the Peter one. Anyway. Harada being Peter is confirmed. Yeah, I don't know. Who made this one?
Once again, the dream team of Noriaki, Yuasa, and Bupei.
Bunpei, what are you doing? Were you getting a divorce? Were your kids mad at you recently? Like, what's going on?
I
had some youths crashed their car into yours.
Is not a good
guy who wakes up and
couple
decides he's
matches here.
conservative now.
Well, that happens. That does happen. Mal.
Special character is Koichi Kawakita. Zara and Sue actors once again Takashi Yamazaki. Our new guy, Jinkichi Ito, is played by Masaki Daimon, who probably played a random guy in Matt in the Bamster episode of Return of Ultraman.
Okay. Well, he probably died.
Not a named guy, but
He'll have been on the space station. He'll have
according
got sucked to death.
According to Daimon, the Super Eye production team mentioned they brought him on to quote unquote empower the story, though Daimon himself was unsure of what that entailed.
Same.
Yeah.
Now, listeners who aren't watching the show, of which I assume there is, I really hope there is zero. I don't know how this would happen, but
there's some people who don't watch Ultraman.
okay, if you're not watching if you're listening to this podcast but you're not watching the show, you may have noticed in the last two summaries I didn't mention a single child. Now, I don't know that adding Ito to this story has empowered the story. I think maybe if Professor were here or Fashion were here, that might empower the story. But they're currently absent.
They don't even talk about the school.
No, they don't even.
Not
they don't
once.
mention the school. Also, the beginning of episode 15 contains the most drastic, just like taking a hammer to the school concept immediately. But we will get to
Did
that
you
in a
guys notice
second.
that the UGM has a building shaped like the letters UGM? That was
I did notice that UGM
you know.
has a building shaped like the letters UGM. I'm a big fan. I think it's very cool.
They
Also-
cannot rebrand.
No, they can't.
No.
Oh no, this is a disastrous investment. This is why there were no more Ultramans in the 80s. Because they couldn't rebrand the organizations.
Also, 80 has a new pension and looks less good.
Oh, I didn't notice.
The one where
I
he
did not
it
notice
looks more like a
either.
traditional one where it's just like it's him doing the zoom up thing rather than like the
Oh.
one where you just show the growing thing.
Yeah, it hasn't gone mentioned, but I did like his transformation that it's filmed from like below and he gets
Yeah.
big.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like it feels like because they'd been stuck with tradition for a while in like the 70s and stuff, and it felt like someone coming back in the 80s and being like, if we think about Ultraman as a hero that gets big, surely we should emphasize the fact that he's getting big. We can just rethink this. And
Yeah, I mean,
maybe someone was
admittedly, like that's what the original
annoyed.
one did do, but just in a different way.
Yeah, I just
But, like,
I
this is a
think
cooler
this
way.
this is
The
like
old
a
one was
better
cool.
way of doing
Yeah,
it, maybe.
yeah.
Anyway, do we have anything more to say about teleportation of the man from Paris?
No.
I can't believe you can just do that. That's what
Yeah, you can just teleport.
Yeah, I can just do that. Will he do it again? Probably not.
I hope he
I
does.
think we've had better harsh training episodes. Looks at the last show we watched.
Oh my, so true. Unbelievably true. Okay, well, episode 15 is called The Devil Doctor's Laboratory or
Number
The
15.
Demon Doctor's Laboratory. One of
Thank
the
you.
two. Yeah, intercepted that one.
I
Featuring...
do think it's funny that like the episode number and the podcast number lined up this time as well.
Yeah.
I just remember that.
Featuring Mew. 6 months have passed since the last time we saw their spaceship, which was episode 13.
Don't worry about it.
The spaceship returns to Earth, and a UGM PR guy picks up a cute little alien on the way back. Ito is like, this is crazy dangerous, holy shit, and everyone else is like, aw, cute baby, especially Jono, who is woman. They take the little baby kaiju to Jono's dad, who is a renowned professor and an authority on alien life forms.
And looks suspiciously like Jin from Ultra Q.
He does. Professor Jono says this kaiju is a mutant. This is actually what he did. This is why he's an authority on alien life forms, because that's fucking Jun. Professor Jono says this kaiju is a Mew, and an adult Mew is smaller than a human, so perfectly safe. Then a scientist called Nakagawa walks in and says, can I have this Mew for my evil experiments? I want to turn kaiju into big docile creatures to use for construction. And everyone says, no, Nakagawa, you may not do evil experiments. And he's like, rats, foiled again.
This is literally that fucking early game FF14 dungeon we thought was fucked up. I just realized.
Yes.
He's just like, yeah, can I do fucked up experiments to turn kaiju into slaves? This won't backfire. I promise.
And everyone in the room goes, what? No. And he goes, please? And, like, it's specifically her dad, the Professor Jono, is like, no, there could be like, this is like cruelty. There could be like terrible. If this could have terrible effects on the kaiju, and the evil scientist is like, well, yeah, that's what the experiments are for. is to figure that out. And he's like, no, you can't do it. Oh, damn it! I'll get him next time. Everyone loves playing with the little baby Mew and setting fires next to it for some reason. Jono especially likes to play with the baby Mew because she is woman.
Yeah.
She's nurturing. She sings a song to it that her own mother used to sing, and it's very soothing and motherly. At night, like a woman. At night, Nakagawa steals Mew and does his evil experiments. It turns Mew into a human-sized kaiju. The Mew runs off and Jono finds it and sings for it, and everyone's confused how this happened, but Mew's still harmless. Later, Nakagawa steals Mew again to finish his evil experiment and turns Mew into a giant kaiju. Mew then steps on Nakagawa, so that's that problem solved. But Mew also seems to go berserk. Ito is like, I told you so, and Takeshi points out that Ito did not in fact tell anyone that a Mew is a completely harmless tiny kaiju that an evil scientist would steal and do an experiment to turn it into a giant rampaging kaiju. UGM launches to fight back, but Jono doesn't want to shoot at Mew with her like fire rays. Takeshi turns into Ultraman and is about to destroy Mew with the Suckium beam when Jono intervenes. She sings for Mew and Mew remembers that all it ever wanted to do was play Goo Goo Babies. 80 turns Mew small again, and the day is saved. The captain gives a speech about how humanity are not the only life that matters, and we are not the masters of the universe. The universe does not exist for us to exploit. This incident has been a good lesson. The PR guy admits it may have been wrong to bring Mew to Earth, and the captain says, you did it out of love. It was love that brought Mew here, and love that returned Mew to space. The PR guy gets a good photo of the captain, Takeshi, and Jono. The end.
The yes redo.
6 months of the school year have already passed. Like in the first 5 minutes of the first minute of this episode, 6 months pass. I wouldn't have done that. if I intended to go back to the school again. I'm a little confused. This is really like playing fast and loose with time.
It's that Monster of the Week show. We don't worry about that.
We don't worry about that. This is like when Hokuto had been in whatever it was
3 years.
For 3 years. Very confusing. Anyway,
this is a flash forward episode.
Ooh,
yeah.
Well, I wonder what the finale is like then. So, this is an episode about a little kaiju that needs to be saved from the evils of humanity.
Another stock one of these, I think it's fair to say.
I was gonna say, I've seen so many of these fucking things.
This one is just kind of like, it's not hitting. It's just
No.
oh, the woman likes the baby. And I'm like, oh, wow. Wonder why.
No. Also, Ultraman, you could have just done that at the start.
You got a shrink ray and he just didn't do it.
Yeah, until he's like, oh, wait, no, but my friend likes this one, so I guess I'll turn it back to normal instead of before when I guess I was just going to fucking kill it because it got unfortunately experimented on through no fault of its own.
I do think it's funny that at the end they do just put it in space without a mother.
After spending a bunch of the previous episode being like, well, we can't just do that. That would be evil and bad because like it's gonna be all alone.
Mm-hmm. And they're just like, yeah, we'll just return it to space. We'll put it in the monster. They find it in a monster graveyard. Monster graveyard mentioned.
Yeah.
Also, I really hate the ending where they're like, and it's not our place to play God with creatures out there in space and tamper with, and I'm like, this is a little thick. Like, laid it out a little too thick. I think the kids get it.
Mm-hmm. I also think the middle's just a bit of a bit of a mess with the experiments on Mew. Mew escapes. They rescue Mew and bring him back, and then Takeshi has to be like, Professor Jono, isn't it possible, maybe even like fucking likely, that your evil scientist friend is doing the evil experiments that he described where he said he wanted to turn Mew really big? And Professor Jono's like, huh. I don't know. This I guess is a possibility. I hadn't considered this. Yeah. I'm also just, I do think it's very funny when they're like playing around with this toy. It's just like it's like an older mode of Ultraman.
Yeah.
Of the special effects, at least.
Yeah. Do we think the school's coming back?
I assume Mel has the answers, and I don't know if she's going to share them.
Yeah, so here's my thought. I thought it was really weird we didn't even get a mention of it 3 episodes in a row. But also, historically speaking, we've said a lot about Ultraman taking swings back to tradition after getting scared that something isn't working or not as popular as they want it to be or whatever, and then taking the coward's route. But usually they preempt that or ease into it a little bit with like some form of like on-screen like transition.
Like an acknowledgement that the time management of being a teacher and a UGM officer is getting too much and he has to dedicate more time to being an officer.
Yeah, like some sort of status quo shift is usually palpable. And it's like, oh, okay, the show's gonna be like this now. These were just like 3 episodes of old-ass Ultraman.
I'm hoping I think we're probably getting the kids again. I think this is just a weird stretch without them for some reason. I don't know. Maybe like filming was difficult.
It's just weird he doesn't even bring it up once.
No.
Not
That's
even
very
like
strange.
oh, I got so many papers to grade. Like, it's so easy to slip one of those in.
Mel, do you have any contribution?
That's a good question. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Okay, I see.
Maybe I have some answers. I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Maybe I have it right up, but maybe I can say that for another time.
Oh, okay. Wait, if you're saving it for another time, that means we're getting at least one more week without the kids or something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to be a detective.
If I watch all 3 of these next episodes and there's no more school stuff, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's Jover. There's no way they do 6 in a row.
Oh, no.
And, like, come back to it later. That's too fucking weird. There's no way.
Well, since I think Mel is maintaining stony silence on this, Brad, who made this episode?
So this one was directed by Joe Hirose, who I pointed out before is the guy who was like, oh, I saw one Ogama movie, and I was like... Or, sorry, the Oshima movie. And, Oshima movie, and wanted to get into cinema. He directed this one, and the last episode he was on was the kid who believed he was an alien, and he wrote that one. So he kind of shifted hats here. And then this one was also written by Bunpei Ai.
Okay. Bunpei busy. He's busy. Like maybe that's why they're not quite up to scratch. Mel, your stuff for this episode?
The stuff actor is Koichi Takano, Teruo Sera, who seems like he'll be around for a while, and various episodes.
Okay.
He's played by Akihiko Sugisaki. And Mu is suit actor as Koichi Nara.
Okay. For a brief second, I had forgotten that Mu gets big, and I was like, how they fit in there?
Oh, you see, that's Mu too.
Oh, yeah, I understand. I will, if assuming Sarah comes back, I will have to be referring to him as Sarah and not PR guy. If he's a character that's coming back. That's 2 new UGM related characters.
Yeah, it's where they introduced 2 new guys
for UGM specifically.
Yeah.
I
wonder why they did that.
Ultraman might be horrible, actually.
We gotta do it. Super Aya, we gotta have a word.
Do you want to rip the band-aid off, or?
We give it one more week, I think, to cope.
We'll give it one more. Leave us in suspense one more week.
The professor might show up next week and be like, I'm part of UGM now.
Oh, you know what? We're so back. If Professor was Ichinotani, if he was doing evil science...
He just walks up to Ito and he's like, you need to be likable for people to want to listen to your orders, right?
Absolutely. Do we have anything more to say about episode 15? I feel like we barely talked about it, but
I mean, I think the problem is that this is maybe the 10th one of this franchise has done, and it's not a good one of them. Yeah. It's just one of the stock, the kaiju is a baby and we gotta make sure we don't actually kill it. But
remember when the hunters headshotted that baby in Tyro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the most ludicrous things that Ultraman has ever done. Incredible. Yeah. Well, if we're done talking about the episodes this week, Mel, do you have some color timers for us?
Sure. Episode 13.
I'm remembering.
2 minutes 39 seconds. Episode 14, 2 minutes 44 seconds. Episode 15, 4 minutes 5 seconds.
Ooh, cocked up on the third one. Still mostly under.
Yeah.
Well, we're in suspense over Ultraman at the minute. Because the thing that we liked was that the show he was a teacher and he had human responsibilities as well as being in UGM. Currently, up in the air whether that still exists in the show. We shall see. Yeah.
Next week, by the way, we have 4 episodes.
Next week. We will find out. We will discover. We will learn everything that needs to be learned about Ultraman 80. We're done talking about Ultraman, so join us after the break. We'll be talking about anything else. Welcome back. We just got done talking about Ultraman. We're gonna talk about fucking anything else. Who would like to talk about anything else first?
I'll go first.
You'll go first.
Here's why. I haven't done shit. Okay, who's next?
Let's go. I could talk about some stuff.
I also haven't done shit.
Oh.
Hang on, no, have I done shit? Let me think if I've done shit.
I hope you would have shat since, like, it's been 7 days since we last... It's been 7 weeks since we last recorded.
Oh my god, I gotta go see a doctor. What the fuck?
Listen, I was...
7 weeks is like since the end of Leo.
I just showed my friends Gunbuster as the time dilation.
I see, I understand.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have a couple of things.
Okay.
I might be able to join in on one of yours.
Oh.
Depending on whether it comes up.
Okay.
Who wants to go? You or me?
I'll go then.
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really have anything to say about it other than, boy, that show's fucking good. But I showed some friends Gunbuster because a few of them were curious about it, and they went, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah, Gunbuster's good. I truly do not have anything to say about Gunbuster other than
it's like when I'm talking about my theory of like you can turn a 7 out of 10 into a 10 out of 10 with a good ending. Gunbuster is one of those.
Yeah, it's a really good ending.
Ultra 7 also one of those. K-On! Season 2 also one of those. Maybe Mobile Suit Gundam, also one of those.
The last few episodes of Gundam are so fucking strong.
So good. But yeah, Gunbuster's ending is fantastic.
Yeah, everything from like the second half of that show, so strong. Like the first half, pretty solid stuff.
It's like 3 great finales in a row.
Yes. And, I'm just like, damn, Anno, you used to have it.
Now where is it? Where'd it go?
He's playing with his toys.
I still haven't watched Ava 4.0, so I can't actually say anything, but, you know.
One of my takeaways, too, is, like, they just slap in so much Ideon shit in some of those fight scenes.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking funny. But yeah, this... At some point, I'm still working on the G-Quux video, and I'm like, I should really rewatch Diebuster before I, like, solidify my G-Quux feelings. I really want to watch Diebuster.
You don't want to watch Diebuster?
I fucking hate that show. Anyways.
Well, why on earth would you not want to watch Diebuster?
I could listen to Groove and Magic and then be like, wow.
I was about to say at least the OP's good.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to I don't know. This account could still exist. The mecha images over mecha songs Twitter gimmick account, where it was that guy who lit a flare on his wingsuit and then dove off of a mountain while Groove and Magic played. So good, so fucking good.
The Diebuster OP is an AMQ classic because inevitably there'll be someone who hasn't seen Diebuster in there, and she'll tear off her shirt in the middle of the OP, and someone in chat will be like, "What the fuck? That was just she was just tits out. What the hell?"
My one saving grace for AMQ is I put all of the Sunrise and adjacent mecha slop, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck is this?"
Monster.
Like,
You're a fucking monster.
yes.
The thing is, there's me and like a couple of other people in like my regular group that are also getting those. So yeah, they're not quite gimmies.
If my buddy Johnson is in there, I'm cooked. Mark is also pretty good too. My other mecha head friend, who got into Gundam because he was like, "Oh, this Extreme Versus game is pretty fun," and then proceeded to marathon basically all of Gundam and GGP in like the span of a year. It was ridiculous.
That's too quick. My god.
There were legitimately be like a time where I'm like, you got through like 3 shows in like a month. Like, it was ridiculous.
I also did that a little bit, but not to that degree.
Yeah, wild. But yeah, speaking of Mecha Slop, I wasn't really planning on talking about this. I restarted L-Gaim just because it had been long enough that I was like, I really truthfully don't exactly remember what is going on when I picked it back up. I'm on episode 20. I still really like L-Gaim. That show, I think, was made like to spite the Bechdel test as a concept.
Okay.
The
right.
two, so like they have like the main trio.
Oh yes.
Yeah, of Daba, Kyo, his like wacky sidekick buddy guy, and then Amu, who is like a bandit girl who is working for like the first villain and then kind of switches sides and is like, "Oh, I love this guy." They then get a 4th main member of the cast who is one of the evil like Empire army that they're fighting, one of their like Elite 13, and she decides like, everyone here treats me like shit and I don't like them. I'm just gonna team up with these guys because they seem like better people. And she also falls in love with Daba. And after she joins, every episode with both Amu and Leslie, I think is supposed to be her name, is just them fighting over Daba, or being like, "Oh, I get to spend time with him, haha, and you don't," or "Oh, I'm gonna do something to impress him and he's gonna fall in love with me for sure." And it really sucks any air in that show's like script writing process for any characterization for either of them. And sometimes when they played off for gags and jokes and stuff, like, some of the jokes are legitimately pretty funny. Boy, do I wish that they would let either of those two characters do like anything else. So that's been kind of a bummer. But beyond that, oh fuck, I really fucking like L-Gaim.
L-Gaim good.
Okay, I gotta say, boy, does L-Gaim in particular feel like so much of Zeta and Double Zeta stuff is just in that show.
I think L-Gaim's a very, like, there's a lot about Zeta that's like, you watch like these stuff from 0079 up through to L-Gaim, and it's like, I see how Zeta happens, and then I think L-Gaim's the final nail in the coffin. I'm still only like 15 episodes in or something, but yeah.
I've only seen like 1 episode of L-Gaim, so.
I think I've talked about this before, but Mashmer is just in this show, and I like the L-Gaim version of him better. They also, okay, Tomino, if I had a nickel for every time the main boy of a Tomino show had to cross-dress to deceive the enemy, I would have a lot of nickels. They do the like Tiger Bomb like comedy stuff like just in the show again, basically, and I was just like, damn, Tomino, you keep going to this well a lot.
This is how comedy was in the 80s.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still having a good time. I'm starting to recognize names of mechs that I know are in 5-star stories. Like there's
okay.
like at some point they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the Ashura Temple," and I'm like, "I've seen a model kit of that. That's a 5-star stories one." I've also been told by another friend who's a little bit more into the 5-star story stuff than I am. Apparently, when 5-star stories goes back to do the rough outline of like an L-Gaim story, like for its thing, you can kind of tell who was responsible for what, or as they phrased it, like who gets what in the divorce, because in the manga 5-star stories version, there are some very like Tomino-esque characters from the show that are not like they don't have a counterpart in the manga.
Oh, I see.
So you can kind of see who was maybe responsible for what when you get both.
That's very interesting, because L-Gaim is, to me, like at the point I was in, I was like a very interesting blend of like there's some Tomino stuff in here, but like it's also very clear that he's not the one like actually like he's not the creative lead necessarily in the way that he is on his other stuff. Yeah, it's
I will say, I do think that as a more lighthearted comedic mecha story, it does make me laugh far more often than Double Zeta did, and that has also been helping a lot too. Like when they aren't doing like the very obvious low hanging fruit, like the girls are fighting stuff, like there's like a lot of really good gags in there. There's some really good gallows humor, honestly, as they get more involved with like the rebel army people.
The rebel army leader sucks so bad. I love him.
Yes, he almost executes Amu, and then she is like, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend to like be in love with you just to like make this guy like jealous." And he's like, "Even though I almost executed you," and she's like, "Oh, that was a very manly decision." It's good stuff.
I gotta hop on.
L-Gaim's good.
It's very fun, like space opera shenanigans. The actual like evil empress, like Lady Poseidon, like lady is in the show now, and she's cool. I'm very curious to see what they end up doing with her, and frankly I'm a little bit curious to see if like there's even some prototype like victory stuff in here with like, you know, big like evil space queen who like maybe there's more stuff going on. Like I think there was a name drop even of like, oh well, if you know anything about like the Elite 13, then you know that this one guy is actually kind of the guy who makes a lot of the decisions. And like they kind of hinted at like maybe she's not always the most directly in control. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna do some of the Zanskare stuff. So, other than that, my friends decided to hop on Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I think after Evo, they were just like, maybe we should check this game out. Mm-hmm. Hopped on that for a little bit. They deservedly so, from what I've been told and what I've seen, nerfed the fuck out of the main I was playing, Nier, who was just an absurd puppet character that just would delete health bars. But basically she has this mechanic where she has this evil like puppet lady that has ridiculous range and like priority and reach and stuff. And you get like, because it's like death, like the Tarot Arcana, you get like this pool of like 13 points basically that you get to spend on different like specials, and then after that goes away you have to recharge before you can have your puppet out, and you're left kind of alone and like you can barely do anything. They have made it so that resource goes away faster than it used to, like it's more costly to use stuff, and I believe you also spend more time recharging, so you have to play a little more cautiously and calculated now, which was really fucking me up and causing me to have some really awful matches when I first was picking the game back up, because I couldn't just like Oonga Boonga it anymore. So I tried out Beatrix, who is a problem in that game. Had a lot of fun playing her, but then I hopped back on with Ranked to try out Nier again. And after I got used to it, I was like, okay, this is actually very enjoyable. Of like, you do need to actually think through, like, I can't just throw things out anymore and take the gamble if it hits. Like, I actually kind of need to be reading what my opponent's behavior is and try to respond and actually think things through a little bit. And it's like, okay, I can maybe get used to doing this, so I might stick with her a little bit longer. But that game it's fun, but it's weird. There's something about how, like, it is a halfway between your more typical anime fighter with, like, air dashes and stuff and, like, a Street Fighter that I think really fucks with my brain, where I want to be doing, like, quicker paced Melty Blood or Under Night shit a lot of the time, and you cannot get away with that. You'll get blown the fuck up in that game. So that's been weird getting used to, but that might be something I dabble with and spend a little more time with in the future. There's a new Under Night character coming out Tuesday who I think is going to be my new main.
Oh, who's the new Under Night character?
Izumi. I'll toss out a character trailer you can scroll through. But basically she has a fish friend who I think they are implying is, like, very evil. My cope is that I was like, well, she has, like, an animal familiar that she uses to, like, set down and, like, activate attacks mid-match and stuff like that. It's kind of like a puppet. She's not really a puppet character. She just has a weird projectile animal friend.
Is this you're trying to make up the fact that the Under Night puppet character wasn't performing the way you wanted?
One of the bottom 3 characters in the game, and basically every time I've ever gone to an event, people are like, yeah, man, like, there's just not a lot you can do. The match, the one time I played an Under Night match on stream, the commentator, I think it was Brett, shoutouts to Brett, pointed out when I was getting blown up, yeah, it's kind of hard when you play a puppet character whose whole thing is zoning, but then you get out-zoned by every other zoner in the cast.
I mean, if I want to play a top-tier puppet character, I'd simply play BlazBlue Central Fiction.
The thing about BlazBlue is if I'm gonna play BlazBlue, I'm gonna play Hakumen because he's so fucking cool.
I mean, Hakumen is cool. That is just fundamentally
true. He's so fucking cool.
I'm like, I don't know how to do him good, but it is just cool to use his mechanics.
Yeah, I suck ass at BlazBlue, and especially using Hakumen, but every time I play him and I get that fucking counter, I'm like, yeah, oh my God, this is the coolest character in the world. Funny enough, when I first played BlazBlue, I played both Jin and Hakumen because I liked them both a lot, and then I played the story and I went, wait a minute. These are the same guy. But yeah, I like 9 a lot too.
Okay, I don't know the lore of BlazBlue. Are they literally the same guy? Or
Hakumen is evil future Jin who has a vendetta and is trying to fix things, but is, like, doing so by not caring about, like, basically no morals Jin that's like, we gotta stop the bad future.
Okay. Wait. Jin is the other guy, the second guy, the blonde guy.
Yeah, he's the Kai Kiska of BlazBlue.
Yeah,
Dice guy.
I kind of the vibe he gave me was he's evil already.
He's like he's cop brain from what I recall.
Isn't he like Yandere for Ragnar, who is also his brother?
I believe that's the case. At some point I stopped playing these games story mode, so I could be. I'm a fake BlazBlue fan, honestly, but yeah.
He sounds cool. Anyway.
The other BlazBlue character, I'm like, man, you're cool, is I would play 9.
9 is cool, but also...
I'm not smart enough to play 9.
I mean, I have someone local who's like, yeah, I just use rock. Because she has a rock overhead move that tracks, and I'm like, this is free if you manage to get it. It's fucked up.
Basically, Red 9 is like a spellcaster who, like, you land certain hits, and based on what hits you land, you build up a spell repertoire that combine with the other elemental spells you stock up.
Because like each button is one button's fire, one button's water, and one button's wind, and like the combination of 2 to 3 creates different effects.
It's so much to keep track of.
Also, she can teleport.
Yes,
much like Ito.
Shoutouts to Cool Witch Ladies.
I'm a fan.
But yeah, this is my fighting game stuff. I hope I like Izumi. I like her design a lot. I like her theme. I think Nice Girl, who is also friends with, or at least stuck working with, Evil Fish, who may be a greater villain for the entire series, is a really strong premise.
One of the funnier things to come out of modern Kirby is the idea that the butterfly who sometimes just shows up in the intro scenes of like Kirby games, just like, oh, when Kirby's sleeping and the butterfly flies by. That butterfly might also be a greater villain of the broader cosmology of Kirby in a way that's hard for me to explain.
Kirby lore rules. I need to
just
catch
look
back
up
up on that series.
just look up Morpho 9 and you'll understand.
Yeah,
Kirby looks ridiculous. I love it.
I think the last one I played to completion was Triple Deluxe. I need to hop on Robobot.
Yeah, Robobot and Forgotten Lands. Very worthwhile. Star Wars has some stuff. I was cooler on it, but I have friends who really like it. And it's like I probably was only cooler on Star Allies because I just really liked Robobot and Triple Deluxe. So
yeah, I have one last thing. I saw the Battlefield 6 beta was happening, and I liked those games many years ago, and every time I've tried to get into one again, it doesn't stick. Let's see how I'm feeling about the Battlefield 6 beta.
This is the thing I can join in on.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. Hey, how was your installation and getting into the beta process?
Fine.
You didn't have to do anything?
Was yours not fine?
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you, I have a notes document.
Mine was fine.
Oh, Jesus
I
fucking Christ.
downloaded a demo, I entered, and I started playing a game.
Okay, well, so here was mine. The first thing, the game did not load. It says, hey, you need to activate Secure Boot on your computer, and gave me a URL from EA.com telling me how to activate Secure Boot on my computer.
As you're playing on a PC, you're not playing on a PlayStation, which is what I was doing.
Oh, okay, that explained. Okay, so I needed to go into the BIOS settings so that EA's proprietary anti-cheat system that I guess they've been using for a bit now, and is also, I think, like a similar thing is used by Valorant. It needs you to turn on Secure Boot in BIOS settings. This is a process that, while easy to do, every step, like every time you look at how to do this online, everyone points out, hey, this isn't that big of a deal, but make sure you do exactly what we're telling you to do, because if you don't, you might fuck up your Windows installation and lose all your files. So that doesn't feel good. No. Thank fucking Christ, no. But it's literally just like, hey, you go into this menu, you hit these, like, you hit this one or two, like, settings, depending on, like, who built, like, you know, what thing your computer's using, and you don't touch anything else, and you'll be fine. So I did that. Then it said, hey, well, we see through, I don't fucking know how they saw this, probably through another Steam EA game I own. It's like, hey, we see that you have like an EA Origin account that you need to like connect to. So log into your EA Origin account. And I went, I haven't fucking done that in probably half a decade. So I had to reset my password. And then it did the thing which like you have two-factor authentication on, so we sent you a code. I looked in my inbox, there's no code. I checked my spam folder, there's no code. I hit the resend thing. It resends, and then like starts a timer to be like, you can resend in a little bit. The codes don't resend. I have to wait and then keep requesting more resends, and then finally the fourth one went through. So I get logged into my EA Origin account. Perfect. It starts to compile shaders. It gives me an error, and it says, hey, man, you need to update your graphics card so that we can compile the shaders right. I go, okay, perfect. And then it says, I look online how to do that, and it says, open up the NVIDIA GeForce Experience app. So I do that. Then the NVIDIA GeForce Experience app tells me, actually, we don't use this one anymore. Now you need to download the NVIDIA app to get the latest drivers. So I download the NVIDIA app, and then I download the latest drivers. So then I load up Battlefield 6 again. It starts to compile shaders, and then it says, hey, because the shaders didn't compile right last time, your save data is invalid. You need to verify the integrity of your game files. So I verify the integrity of my game files. And then I log in again, and then it says, I don't remember, it gave me some error, so I had to reboot my computer. Then I finally got in. And then every 5 to 10 minutes, the game would blue screen my computer. And then after copious Googling throughout the night, I found that I needed to disable a setting in my BIOS, once again, bookends, called hyperthreading, which I did disable. And also, I found that Tekken 8 runs better now. So...
Oh, lol.
Yeah. I don't know, I'll take it. I'm never turning that back on. I still barely understand what it does. But yeah, anyways, so after a whole night of dealing with that, I had some fun with Battlefield 6.
Yeah. I played significant amounts of Battlefield 3. I wanted to play significant amounts of Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I was still in the era where I was like, my parents still had a lot of control over what video games I was getting, and I was like, I was like nervous about asking for video games all the time. But Battlefield 3, I played copious amounts of that game, and then I played quite a lot of Battlefield 4, and then I kind of fell off, and I played a little, but Battlefield 5 was free at one point. I got that, downloaded that, played that with a friend, and I was like, this feels gooey. This feels like there's no front line. I can't, there's nothing, this feels awful and terrible.
How's Battlefield?
Oh yeah, I skipped Battlefield 1, the World War I one.
I played a little bit of
I
that.
imagine that's the only modern shooter where it's like, yeah, you can play as the Austrians.
Probably. So Bad Company 2 was like, of that era, it's probably my favorite shooter. Something about the way the map design, and also I feel like it was truly the one that, like, Bad Company 2 and Bad Company 1 were the ones that really went all in on, like, hey, like, everything here is destroyable. And they really went to town with, like, you can just level all these buildings. Like, this town where this capture point is could become a field, basically. And I feel like
they pulled back on that for Battlefield 3, and they've just kind of, there's selective destruction.
I get why, from a, like, map design standpoint, I just think it's less fun. Battlefield 3 I still liked quite a bit, and like, we're still playing with the same crew of people I was playing, like, all of those shooters with at the time. But we stood with Battlefield 3 a little less long than Bad Company 2, because we're just like, Bad Company 2 is great. By the time Battlefield 4 came around, that friend group had kind of just dissolved because, like, time. And I didn't really have anyone to play Battlefield 4 with, because I was hanging out with RPG nerds more than I was people who played FPS games. So I played it for a little bit, and I was like, it's not the same without, like, a group. I, at some point, played Battlefield 1 and went, this game's pretty cool, but kind of similarly didn't have a group. I did not play the other ones, and this is, like, my first time coming back in a bit. And this time I have a few people to play with again. Though I don't know. I think maybe one friend might buy it, but also, too, it might just be a thing where we play the beta together, and I don't know if he's actually going to buy the game. But, I would say this is probably the best experience I've had with it since, like, 3, back in the day, of just, like, when it works, it really works. Like, the team synergizing stuff is excellent. Just, like, switching to, like, single fire mode on your assault rifle, having to zoom in, lead the shot, actually, like, kind of suppress enemies and hope that your team is moving in the correct way. All that stuff feels really good. And I think this might be the first shooter in a bit that I actually, like, stick with and actually spend some time with when it comes out, which I was a little bit surprised by.
Yeah, I was also pleasantly surprised. I was playing it with a friend yesterday, and I was like, this feels pretty good. It's obviously still Battlefield. It's still got the Battlefield problems where it's like when you get a one-sided match, it's like genuinely miserable. But that's just part of the package, unfortunately.
Sometimes the last 10 minutes of your 20 minutes conquest game is you at the spawn going, can any of you please just move as groups of 4 people with the other people in your squad? Why are we all going different directions? What's happening?
But I love to be an engineer, repairing, like, forming a 3-man squad behind a tank, just going at it with a blowtorch, and then it drives too fast away from you. You just see this little train of 3 engineers running after it, going, wait for me.
I'm also a big fan of what happened to me and my buddy last night, where the game starts, everyone gets into like the car with the gun turret on the back, and then we get halfway to where we're going, and then the driver just decides, I don't want to drive this anymore, and then abandons the car full of 4 other people to just kind of sit awkwardly in the middle of the street, and everyone else decides they don't want to drive either, so everyone just scatters, and we completely waste that vehicle being of any strategic value whatsoever.
Battlefield is ultimately an engine for generating funny bits, because it's just there's a lot of, I don't know, there's just everything about it is just a little bit funny. Like when I'm aiming my SAM at a helicopter overhead and I get a lock on and the helicopter immediately shoots flares, and I'm like, lol, you give me 10 seconds and you're fucking done. And it's just people, you can see the thought processes people have in like moments of panic. It's really funny. Or
like when you're in a tank gunner like thing and you look down an alleyway that's like a dead end, and you just see a guy realize like I'm fucked.
Yes.
There's literally nothing I can do about this.
The people realizing that they're dead to rights and what they do at that point is really funny. Because genuinely nothing. My gun is not going to hurt this tank. I am just dead. I'm fucking done. Remembering again that the sniper glare thing in Battlefield is like there's an element of menace to it, but when you're coming up on like an objective point and you see, Jesus fucking Christ.
What are you talking? What's up?
You're getting terrorized by Big Mouth. How? When you're coming up on an objective and you see like 8 or 9 glares from sniper rifles, and it's just like, well, I'm not going. You step out into the open and immediately like 3 shots fire and you're fucking gone. It's really good. I especially like, there's a degree of like meat grindiness to Battlefield when it works, which I imagine is very infuriating for a lot of people, but I quite like.
Same. There is a degree to which just being a body in the mass, and knowing like I am actually helping by just being here,
is this
feels great.
Does this make Battlefield the most communist first-person shooter?
Yes, it is. It's absolutely, it operates on the Soviet infantry tactics of like, if I remember reading about the Soviet the reason why Soviet infantry tactics appear so callous is because they figure out, it's like, if a lot of people die in this wave, fewer people will die in the long run. So like what looks like tactical cruelty is like a high level like good strategy happening. And like Battlefield is just that kind of just like waves of people crashing into waves of bullets. And I remember like Battlefield 3, it was like Operation Metro. It was just people lining up in corridors waiting to charge out into the open and fucking die.
That map was like pulling teeth on Rush, where it's like there are, you fucking know, there's like 3 lanes that anyone can go down, and everyone has like a fucking automatic weapon, and it's just like I can't move. Like there's literally no way to walk forward without getting shot.
There's nowhere. And I've been having a good time rolling around with a light machine gun and defibrillator, and doing my job.
Let me tell you, I played with a lot of medics that were not doing their fucking job.
There's a lot of people picking up Battlefield who do not realize that if you're a medic, you have to put your gun down for a second and please revive people. Please do that.
Or the most infuriating thing, like your squad mates can also much more slowly revive you in this one.
Yes.
And there's nothing worse than hitting the pause my death timer and let me ask for, or like slow down my death timer and let me ask for a revive. I'm literally downstairs. The guy above is just looking out a window, waiting for someone, not even shooting or actively engaged in like combat, just waiting for someone to peek around a street corner. And I'm like, literally just it'll take 30 seconds of your time. Walk downstairs and get me back up. You're not? Okay, I'll just keep hitting the button and see if you notice. Oh, you're not? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna die and waste one of our team's lives again. Sure. This has crossplay, I think, too, if you do want to play this at some point together.
It does have crossplay.
Nice.
Are you getting do you think you're getting the full thing?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
It sort of depends when it comes out and what's looking, but it's kind of like, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see what I'm doing.
I think I'm going to hop on this one. Oh, you know what? This comes out one day before my birthday.
Nice.
So I think I will.
when Battlefield 6 release.
It comes out October 10th.
Okay, cool. Wow.
Did you read up on what the fucking story of this one is?
This one has they have stories.
Yeah, so what if NATO starts to fracture and then a private military company is like, we're going to be the new NATO, and then they start fighting?
Okay.
It's called Pax Armada.
Well, okay.
I guess if NATO wants to play, it's allowed.
Wait, so who's part of...
I encourage it even.
So who's part of... Are there specific countries involved with thing, or has this been nationalized?
Apparently, former NATO states. But do they say which ones? I don't think they do. I don't know.
Because I'm like, does this mean they've done away with the fact that in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 it was always like the US Army versus Russia or China?
I don't know. I don't know if this is even supposed to be part of, because
remember Battlefield 4 had an expansion called China Rising?
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
I never played Battlefield 4 story mode because I think I had it on PS4 and there was a bug that they never fixed where the campaign would just delete your progress.
Well, I didn't play Battlefield 3's story mode on account of the fact it's a Battlefield game.
Yeah. I wonder, are these all supposed to be like the same story? I'm like morbidly curious now.
Oh no. You're gonna play them in order.
Like, then they do like 2056 or whatever. I don't fucking remember the number, but like they have the future ones too. And I'm like, what's so like? Do they lead into each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's not the same story as Bad Company because Bad Company 2 ends with them going, the Russians have invaded Alaska, and then they never made Bad Company 3 because everyone involved with Bad Company was like, I don't want to fucking work for EA anymore, and then left.
Oh, I see.
And that's why Battlefield 3 is like that.
Wow.
The main U.S. Marine you play as in Battlefield 3 story is named Blackburn.
Henry Blackburn.
That's a good name.
Mel.
Oh, and
I was
Crew operative Dmitry Mayakovsky.
Okay.
I know nothing about Battlefield or shooters in general, so I don't have conceptualization of what made the Bad Company games as a spin-off / arm of the Battlefield games good / better than the other ones?
Okay, so one, it's outwardly comedic. Like the Bad Company is like basically a unit of it's a squad of 4. So you
go on YouTube. You go on YouTube and you go look up like Bad Company 2 banter, and you just get like hours long videos of just like the Bad Company 2 characters talking. You just sit in the level and they just chat with each other.
Yeah. I distinctly remember Bad Company 2, the first mission ends with you calling in like an air raid, and one of your dudes is like, oh, fuck, I should have joined the Air Force, and everyone else is like, you are too stupid for that, don't kid yourself. And like they do dumb wacky shit with that. That frankly, it's been so long I don't even remember those characters' names or really what their personalities were. But I remember like odds and ends, like random jokes and shit. Like, and also too, that meant like on the multiplayer maps, like in addition to having like tanks and jeeps and military shit, sometimes you'd have like maps where it's like, oh, there's a golf cart here, and like stupid shit like that too. And that was kind of like them going like, hey, we have this series that's kind of known for being its big multiplayer. Like, you have teams of like 32 on 32, and that's broken up into everyone is in a squad of 4 players that can then like spawn on each other and shit. So they kind of built out like a single player based on like the idea of the squad. But then because it was more comedic in the multiplayer side, they're like, oh, the big deal with this one is going to be like big explosions and like destruction physics. So like you can actually like tear apart the buildings and stuff that you're fighting next to, and it would make the map evolve over the course of like, and also too, the multiplayer matches for Battlefield are different from say like a Halo or a Call of Duty, which are usually like 5 to 10 minutes. They're like, these are 20 minutes to half an hour, like much more long term. And because
20 minutes if they're good.
Yeah. When you combine that with the destruction physics, it means that you start like the state of the map from when you start and when you end is like everything is just destroyed and ruined and devastated, and it's kind of like a fun progression.
And then like after Bad Company 2, they kind of pulled back on that so that the destruction was like a little more selective and a little more like, these are tactical options and like kind of more designated routes through maps, in a way that was, created, meant that they could be more deliberate with level design, but was kind of, not as open.
Yeah, there was definitely moments I remember in Battlefield Bad Company 2 where it was like, there are people in this 3-story building, we don't know where, but they're a problem. And an actual genuine strategic, like, solution to that was, well, we're just going to use the tank and then shoot the base floor of that building enough, and at some point it will collapse and kill everyone inside if they don't get the fuck out. And you every now and again there will still be like building collapses and stuff, but like they're a lot more concerned about being like, oh, this is like a city map where like you can blow out the sides of buildings, but like they're not going to collapse. So like, there's some degree of like separation between areas and zones, and like there are lanes and stuff like that. What I will say, my one complaint I do have with Battlefield 6 so far, some of my favorite Battlefield maps from like the earlier days were maps where it was like big field with like towns almost, like and kind of maybe some interesting stuff in the roads between. And this one feels a lot more concerned with like, oh, you're in a big city block.
Yeah, I don't like the map Iberian Assault or whatever it's called. I don't like it. It's very annoying to me. I do like the map that's up on the ridge. Yeah.
Is that the one with like the grassy hill, like, and the one
grassy hill?
There. I think it's. I can't remember. There's like a Battlefield 6 map where like on the. I've mostly been playing Conquest 2 because I know usually for these games the maps are a little mode dependent. But there's one where like on the far eastern edge, it's kind of near one of the spawns. Like there's like an A flag, and like there's kind of like a grassy hill area, with like a bunch of like foliage and stuff. Kind of running along the entire like eastern border of the map, basically.
Maybe I can't remember.
But yeah, it's been that one's one of my favorites. I do think like in general one of the problems this game has is like a lot of these maps. I'm just like, I haven't really played Recon at all, but I'm like, boy, it feels like sniping on some of these would be a pain in the ass. But.
Yeah, they have said. I think someone has said is that they're mainly included like smaller, like they've included mostly kind of like like for some of the smaller maps so that they get like testing on like the moment to moment gameplay a little more. I think is what they've said. I don't know how much I buy that, but
they're bringing back Operation Firestorm from 3, maybe this game is sick.
Okay,
that's like the one really good map from 3. That's the one with the big mountain in the desert and all the oil.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Was Operation?
It's the one with all the oil. Like,
Operation Firestorm was sick.
Yeah. I got my longest sniper headshot probably in any video game in that map, because there was a guy who I'm pretty sure was AFK, and I just started shooting at him, and then I got a headshot, and I was also... This was when I was playing first-person shooter games in the living room of my parents' house, and I had the boys over, and we were all eating Doritos, and everyone went, "Yo!" And it was maybe the pride of my, mediocre Caucasian youth.
Yeah. Nice. Wow, sounds like Battlefield.
Yeah, that sounds like Battlefield.
Sounds
I
like
got one
Battlefield.
other thing.
What do you have?
I played Journey for the first time yesterday.
Oh, that's good. I've never played.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. Two of the three co-op partners I had were dog shit.
Oh.
They weren't good at the game.
Was about to ask, was anyone else playing Journey?
Yeah, so this is the thing. I met like 3 people, and I got to the end of the game, and I was like, now I know that there's a thing about Journey that people say about it being co-op, but like, I don't think this is real. I think these are like AI partners. These can't be real people that I've just played.
Yeah, they got like bots integrated in case the networks are...
I wouldn't be surprised.
But no, apparently they were real, because I got a list of usernames at the end of people I played with.
Are you sure the usernames were real?
Yes, they looked real.
Okay.
And also, one of them behaved like a person, in that they clearly opened the menu and walked away from Journey for a little bit. While we were in the freezing cold of the last level, and I was like, no, but I need you so that I'm not running out of my jump. You have to come with me.
Chicken nuggies were done.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, okay.
Yeah.
The other one was with me for a while, and then got by one of the monsters and had a really, really short scarf and didn't know how to hold down the ping button, and so couldn't use the little cloth creatures to like fly up in the tower level. And so I was like, well, I'm not hanging around and waiting for you much longer, so like I'm gonna go. Goodbye. And so I left him, and I was like, well, that was sad. Feel kind of bad about that. What?
Shin Godzilla's like in theaters like now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could go see Shin Godzilla at 3:00 like today.
Oh.
I might do that.
Spoiler for next week.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Shin Godzilla before. I like that movie quite a bit. Fuck it.
Nifty.
Nice.
But yeah, Journey was good. I like Journey.
It's a fun one.
Vibes game.
I still haven't. What was Abzu the one they followed that up with?
I think so. Yeah.
That's what I'm playing like tonight, I think.
I still haven't played that one. I know that one. People were, I think, a little bit cooler on that one, but I couldn't tell you why. I don't know anything really about it.
People like sand. People like sand, and they don't like water. Anakin voice. I love sand.
One time I was streaming my PlayStation 3, and I was on like the main cross menu bar thing or whatever the fuck they call it. And people started making fun of me because I had a bunch of like folders of different game genres, and I had Journey in a folder that was just called art. Because I didn't know what else to put it in.
Okay, right. I understand, but also I am with them. I'm taking the piss out of you for this. You put Journey in a folder called art. All right, dude. Thanks.
I didn't know what else to call it because I'm like, it's not. I mean, I guess it's a platform.
It is a platform.
Yeah.
Get real.
It's art. It's an art game.
Mario Paint's an art game.
Yeah, I do.
Every time I think
like,
about Journey, I think about that stream. I don't even remember what the fuck I was streaming.
I like the bit when I like the level where you're sliding down the dunes.
Yeah, like Mario.
It's the sand stuff. Like, gorgeous game. Hot take, I know, but it's so good.
Yeah, So that's me. I'm like in the middle of other stuff, and I've been very busy this week, so I have not read. I did not finish The Farthest Shore, which is sort of strange because it's a Earthsea novel. They're not very long, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
I didn't get as British pilled as I wanted to either.
Eventually we'll learn. Eventually we'll learn what this means.
Yeah, I'll hold off for one.
Many things will come to light with time.
Yeah.
Many things, yeah, including whether the children will ever reappear in Ultraman 80.
Look at that.
Speaking of Ultraman 80, do we have any emails this week? Pro, man. I'm so fucking good at this.
I was gonna say, is this like the original weapons? Like all the kids are missing?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Precisely. Mel, do we have any emails?
We have a few. One is
we have several emails.
But might hold on to these. Mothra Fanboy has one for Ultraman Omega 3 to 7, which we have tentatively scheduled for next week, so, you know.
Okay.
We have one for Cross Zeta that no reason to pick here. I guess I'll just answer next week.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with both of you? I kind of thought we were doing Omega today, and I woke up at 8 and went, fuck. And I watched a lot of Ultraman Omega
You're
today.
an idiot.
Now, to be fair, episode 7 did actually air this week, but also I didn't put in the schedule. I didn't plan for this.
That's why I thought.
At least it caught up now.
Yeah.
How was the show?
Yeah, jokes on you. You don't have to watch all those episodes of Omega this week, and I do.
Yeah. We'll talk about I don't like that main character. that's about it.
Alas, we'll talk about it.
Overall, thumbs up though. It's just the main character when he's on screen. I'm just kind of like
encouraging.
Oh,
yeah.
Do we have any emails we can read, or is it just okay? No email. All the emails are getting held off. This means, dear listener, if you send us an email before we record the next episode in like 3 days or whatever, you can turn the next week's podcast into like a 3-4 hour bonanza or whatever the fuck it's gonna be. So we will see you Plugs. If you want to follow us online, you can do so at Ultra QUEUE on Blue Sky or at Ultra_QUEUE on Twitter. I am also on Blue Sky. I am at Red November. Mel, your plugs.
Hi, you can send an email, as previously stated, to ultraqpod@gmail.com. And we have a coffee that's ostensibly for subtitling stuff. UltraQ Fund. Some stuff might be coming to fruition. Unexpected plate that I've been spinning, which I'll review in time. A bit of out of left field one, but it's been in the works for a while, and it might be selling down in like a month or two. So we'll see.
Okay. Brad.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Be Invoked. There's BEINVOKED on Blue Sky and YouTube. Last night I made really good progress on that mecha tabletop RPG thing I've been working on. I think maybe early next year that thing might just be out.
I did see you post this.
Yeah, like, I had a weird problem with that thing where I was very wishy-washy with, like, the main core rules I wanted this to use. And then, like, as I did kind of all of the, like, dressing of the setting and, like, more specific stuff around that, I kind of just became more apparent, like, what direction I should take it. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart as soon as it gets exposed to, like, you know, actually being used as a rule set. We'll have to see.
It will, but that's like the next step.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, and how much the overhaul/tweaking process is required. But I'm excited about this thing. Like, I'm actually at a spot where I'm like, ooh, I feel like kind of like excited to see people get their hands on this in some degree at some point. So we'll see how it goes.
Sick. All right. Well, that is us for this week. You'll catch us next week talking about 4 episodes of Ultraman 80, and we will learn the secret. Until then, me and Brad are in suspense, and everyone else apparently knows. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Later.